on digital, and on 88 to 91 FM. BBC Radio 2. Russell Brand.
That's Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton, Islands in the Stream. One can only imagine what I mean by that. I'd like to dedicate that to Daisy Pop. It's very uplifting bit of music, really, ain't it?
Can't rock and roll all the time, can you?
We can't constantly be rocking and rolling. We'll do ourselves a terrible mischief. Although, geographically, I can't begin to comprehend what an island in a stream might be. Why would that ever happen?
Well, it's a thing, you know, like stepping stones.
That's not an island, that's a stepping stone. I'm Russell Brand, this is the Russell Brand Show. We're listening, we're not listening, that's obvious from the way we conducted ourselves. You're listening to Radio 2. I'm here with Matt Morgan, he's in charge of all manner of switches. You alright there, mate?
Yes.
Seem upbeat enough. There's an email, or it's a textual message, it's come through to me. It goes, I've just seen the latest pics from the show. Matt, do you pluck your eyebrows? This is from a person who hasn't even got the nous to name themselves, but do you pluck your eyebrows?
People often accuse me of it. Because they're arched.
That might be, Matt.
They're arched, aren't they?
Perhaps it's because of your enormous femininity.
How dare you? Your eyebrows.
Unsettling femininity. My butch.
You should. I know you should.
Butch eyebrows. I'll give them a going over at some point. Trevor Locke's over here.
Kevin.
I don't know who these people are in here, but they all seem very nice, pleasant young men. Are you all right, Trev?
I'm all right. Yes, very well indeed. Don't
Really
Kevin.
upbeat.
I know. Why is that? Is it because it's Saturday night?
Probably
No.
you'll think it's to do with the moon.
It could be to do with the moon. I don't know. I don't think it's to do with the moon. I think it's because I'm over the January blues.
Trevor attributes all manner of things to the moon, and don't try to cook up some January blues and then try and do some jitterbug-style song about it, like and turn it into a barbershop quartet. It's a January blues, dooba-dooba-doo. Don't do it, Trev! We nearly got sucked into it then!
Sorry.
Christ, you've got to be so careful with this,
Things
lad.
that are attributed to the moon, though. Tides, ladies.
Yeah, I don't attribute ladies to the moon, mates.
Some ladies' activities.
I'll take the credit for them. Now listen, we've got all sorts of important things to talk about. We do this lovely thing. It's called Cry for Help.
You can never remember it.
I know, it's a shame because it's a catchy title and it's a lovely ISO. It deserves better, frankly. Cry for Help, where if you've got a problem, ring us up. We will literally solve it. We've solved, over the last couple of weeks, we've solved more problems than I'd care to mention. But even if it was just one, I wouldn't care to mention it. How many problems have we actually solved? So one fella wanted a date, he couldn't remember the name of the woman, we found out that woman's name using skill. Turn your phone off, Trevor! And then, like, so they're now in love, we'll probably talk to him later. There's another fella who was given an errant sex book gift. In fact, he gave a sex book as a gift as a secret Santa. We've managed to reconcile him with his workmates. We haven't done anything actually with that one, have we? That's just a lie, but he did do
We
that.
have helped a lot of people.
We've helped a lot of people. Some fella was doing a panto in Toulouse, he's been helped. If you need help, we'll help you. Email us, russell.brand@bbc.co.uk, or you can call 0500 288 291. Even if we don't help you today, leave your number, right? Because in a couple of weeks, we might have to pre-record shows. It'd be really good to have your details, otherwise it won't be people calling and it'll be weird. Now, I've got lots of things to talk to you about, right? Here's some of them. You don't know about this, Matt or Trevor. I've been down the old osteopath today.
Oh, no.
I knew that.
Oh, right. It's nice down there. We've, like, Matthew and I have found ourselves, we both see the same osteopath, we found ourselves vying for, we went at similar times, and we sort of, like, vying for supremacy over who the osteopath likes best. And now I've started...
I'm not even trying, mate.
I've begun a dirty war, let me tell you. I've really
I never
started
talk
to
about
criticise.
you.
Don't you? You don't
I've mentioned you.
mention.
I say nice things. He's very flexible, isn't he? Because when he used to be a kickboxer.
Talk about my spine. What you've not
What
even
else
got
am I
out
gonna
the
talk about with
arena
him?
of osteopathy-based conversations. Me and him were talking about a range of topics now. Gavin, the osteopath.
Oh no, I talk about with him. I talk about all sorts of stuff.
But when it comes back to me, you're talking
Yeah,
about. Well,
we
guess
just
what?
go. It's got a nice spine, isn't it?
Lovely spine. What can you say about the guy? Nothing else. He's got a lovely spine. Well, as a matter of fact, Matthew, you might be interested to know that I've told him about what a hypochondriac you are.
I know you told him that, and that's bad.
I'm really hammering it home. I'm saying
It doesn't matter because he.
do not take his problems seriously.
I go there and he cracks. There's things happen. So if I'm a hypochondriac, why have I got symptoms?
That's
what I always
poor little
think.
sod. You poor desperate.
He'll go,
slut.
you're such a hypochondriac. Why does my head ache? Why are these things happening?
Because you bring it on with your
No.
hypochondria. He makes those noises with his mouth. He goes, oh, Mr. Morgan, you're fit as a fiddle. Oh, what a lovely spine. It's a miracle you got to the surgery in that state, you poor sod. So, anyway, but this is like the crux of the situation today. I went in to see the osteopath. It went quite nice. I had a massage first off of, was it?
The Australian lady.
No, he's a man. He was called Morris, and he had the air of the sort of fella that might train Rocky. That's the air he had. He weren't actually him, but he had the air of someone who might train Rocky, a grizzled boxing trainer. Very charming, very gentle, easy to be with, and an air of humanity and warmth about him, but still this Rocky trainer thing. There's one bit where he was doing me a nice bit of massage, and like he stretched my arms out, and my arms brushed his genitals.
Oh.
Like, you know, where like sort of you're flat, face down, prostrate, and he's like stretched my arm out, pulling it. He was pulling my arm out sort of into him, and my sort of the tips of my fingers.
I'm gonna say.
I'd really like to think that he didn't.
Could it be an accident though, really? He's pulling it.
That's true.
That's like when you have a haircut and your elbow brushes their groin.
Your elbow brushes their groin?
Yep.
Your elbow.
Your elbow touch.
What kind of lives do you boys
And then you
lead?
try and pull your arms in and think, oh God,
Yeah,
the elbow thing's happening.
The elbow thing is happening.
What did you say to him when it happened?
I didn't mention it. I thought, well, you can't be entirely sure that this collection of lumpy objects beneath his trousers are his genitals.
Oh, cheeky!
Perhaps there's a cluster of tumours. I tried to convince myself, but as a mass use,
That's
he's unlikely
horrible.
to have those. I know. Then, right, I noticed that, like, now listen, I, earlier in the day, was eating a trifle in bed, and some of that trifle fell on my pristine white Y-fronts. Now, there was...
That's such an obvious lie.
It's not a lie! This is truth. I had trifle stains.
Who eats trifle?
I do, and my nan used to give me, I like it.
Where'd you get it from? Because you don't cook it.
I get it down Marks. You don't cook a trifle. I got it down Marks, didn't I? Other shops are available, probably other trifles and all. And I dropped some trifle on my pants and some on the back of my pants.
That's...
What an excuse.
What?
Now, I was getting on really well with the osteopath, but I didn't want to I've had these obvious stains on my pants.
What are you doing in your pants?
Because I'm having osteopathy. I've had the massage in the same place, then nipped to the next room. I goes, actually, I'm not going to bother putting my clothes back on. Can I dart up the corridor still in my pants? He goes, well, let me close the front door of the building, because I've...
What? Who are you, Elvis? Let's pull the shutters down for this. You always do.
This is a pretty big deal.
He can't be normal. We have to run around with his pants on.
Knowing full well you've got trifle marks on it.
I just thought, don't act embarrassed, because I know it's trifle, and hopefully they'll think, if this was some sort of bodily secretion, no one would be that confident. No one. So I thought, you know, but I didn't want to mention, oh, by the way,
What
that's
sort of-
trifle, because then it sounds like a lie.
Was it like hundreds and thousands and custard?
No, more the custard.
Oh, that's disgusting.
And then then a demarcation of the fruit also on the
What?
rear. Well, like, you know, the bottom of trifle. I don't know if you know how
What have you
trifle
done
works.
with this
Top
trifle?
layer
Sat in
cream,
it?
then custard, then sort of red fruits.
Red
fruits
yeah.
of the forest.
Oh dear.
It didn't look good. But, like, you know, he was very gracious about it, and it didn't come up as a topic, so I got through the whole of that osteopathy thing, actually, and managed to, if anything, come out of it smelling of roses, whereas you, Matthew, I don't think you'll be popular down at osteopaths.
Why?
The receptionist listens to this programme, and I think you're coming out of it pretty badly.
Why? What have I done?
Well, it's just the way you carry on, all the...
They love me down there. They let me take my bike in, put it in the little massage room.
I don't think they treat you like a simple lad.
No, no.
You're a little bit- that poor backwards fella. I bet they don't charge you. Here he comes with his bicycle. I think my bicycle needs a massage this week. Don't you, Smokey? Ding, 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 ding. He
Well,
answers
that time
questions
you went
with
there,
that bill.
You went there and had a tantrum and stormed off.
I didn't. I said,
That's what they told me about. They go, oh, your friend Russell's here, but Gavin wasn't here, and we had to have someone else. So he went, I don't want the massage, and stormed off home.
I did. Not only did I storm off home, like on the way home, I decided to move to America. That was a decision I made in my mind. Oh, these osteopaths don't work. I can't live here anymore. I reneged on that decision quite quickly. I saw it as an overreaction on the journey, but nonetheless, yeah, there was a moment. Yeah, listen, don't criticise me for that. Other things that I might tell you about over the course of the show is I see Richard Madeley today. Other important thing, he just drove by and then there was a moment of conversation. I'll tell you about that later. So why don't you call us 0500 288 291 and leave us details and stuff like that, because we want to talk to you about your intimate and personal problems. We were telling you about this woman who we helped who was getting ogled in a swimming pool by subaquatic perverts looking upward. We'll tell you about how we solved her plight. I think she's going to be back on the line telling us how our advice has helped her life.
Oh, that's
yeah,
great
That's
news.
good.
we've helped people. We're doing genuine good here. Genuine it is. Later on in the show there will be a chat with Noel Gallagher. Please remind us to do that because he's back from his holiday now, and I've chatted to him. He's got all sorts of views and opinions. I've never heard him so ebullient and bellicose. He's back to his best. He really is. So yeah, that'll be happening later. Will we do anything else? Have you two got anything? Have you bought any content? Any ideas? Either of you?
No, I've got some paper out.
Lovely paper. You are a bright boy. Why don't we listen to? Oh, we're listening to Private L, the Jam. Go on then, Matt. Bang it in, all professional like. That's lovely old Paul Weller and the Jam doing Private L. I wonder, Private L, nice. You listen to Russell Brand. I just wanted to say I wonder what Private L's like, but people don't like it if after every track you do some analytical thing of the track.
Who doesn't like it?
It was described to me once. When I did an old job on another radio station, and someone goes to me, don't always go like, well, no, this is an example of it being bad, right? I go, private hell? Well, let me tell you what my private hell is. It's being locked up with all these Labradors and they're clawing at me. Something like that.
What's wrong with you?
That's the voice. I think it's an interesting anecdote. It's just the voice that put me off.
It's not an anecdote, Trev. That never happened.
Oh, right.
If I found myself with the Labradors, I'd get on fine with those little guys. Dear Russ and Trev and that, says Craig in Liverpool.
That's me.
Oh no, it says Matt. What's wrong with trifle? Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. This man is using the interrogative in the extreme. My mum makes it all the time and it is an amazing form of dessert. Matt was making it sound like some old person's way to happiness. If you have trifle on your pants, be proud of it. It's an amazing achievement. Thank you, Craig. You are a sensible and beautiful young
Very
man.
silly. You might have a balloon animal in your pocket.
Well, in a manner I have, Matthew. That crazy little guy gets me into all sorts of scenarios. So, here's a person, and in fact it's two perpens. Listen, if that's not a word yet, it is now. Pie Jingo. Now there's a context. Right, this is from someone called Love Lane Cake. Wow. She goes, Russell, did you know there is a man, yes, a man in a play in Stratford. The play, I believe, is The Merry Wives of Windsor. That's a Shakespeare one. And she goes, there's a man blatantly dressed up as you and acting as you. They're using your look as a Shakespearean character. Lots of love, genuine love to all of you, especially Trevor. Why would she say a thing like that? Could you do me a big atmospheric ah and shout out to my fellow Russell lover Flicky? Flicky, hello, love. So, what I don't know about this artificial
Atmospheric
ah. All of us go ah. But I'm just contacting you for my own personal advantage, she says. But then this is confirmed by another person called Lucy. Hello everyone, I recently went to see Merry Wives of Windsor, blah blah blah, someone who looks like Russell and singing. I found it confusing. Why have they done this? Russ, what's going on? See, so something's happening in Stratford. What are we going to do? That's my identity they're using.
Well, you transcend that now. You're an icon.
I've become an icon. What tremendous news.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
You can't copyright it, you're not Mickey Mouse.
No, I suppose I'm not, although I am recognisable in silhouette. You see, like how Matt Groening said you have to be.
What?
Matt Groening says good characters have to be recognisable in silhouette.
That's quite good.
It's a good idea, isn't it? Bart, Homer, Marge, Mickey Mouse, Batman, recognisable in silhouette. Charlie Chaplin, recognisable in silhouette. I don't feel well today. Now, we've got some important things to discuss, and one of those important things is this woman, Lucy. We spoke to her and of her last week at her local swimming bath, which she, for some reason, unbeknown to us, can only attend on a Wednesday. She gets perverts swimming underneath her, wearing goggles, looking at her beautiful flesh, moving with the motion of the water, the aquatic roll, the lull, the gentle feminine swirl of flesh. But Trevor, stop that! So, I wish I could tell you what that was. But, so, I think Lucy might be on the line to tell us how our brilliant advice went. Lucy, are you there?
I am.
How did our brilliant advice went? How did it go?
Well, we didn't really follow any of it.
Why? What was it? We can't be expected to remember. Since then, we've consumed
It was
1,000
right on your
experiences.
stomach. Stop looking at me, you pervert.
Well done, Matthew. That was our advice. So why didn't you do it, Lucy?
Several reasons.
Well, name 9.
One of them is that we wear black swimming costumes that cover our stomach, so that would stop that.
You filthy animals. I bet you wear stockings in that pool. Suddenly I'm on the side of the perverts. In fact, I always was. Go on, alright, so you wear black swimming costumes, you can't write on that. You could have done it with Tipex, but go on.
We could have done, yeah, but that
Other
might have
type of
come off
foods
in
are
the
available.
pool.
I suppose so, yeah.
The other advice was shave our body hair, was it?
I think we may have said
not
something.
remove our body
Oh no,
hair.
leave the body
it on,
there, leave
let
it
it grow.
to
Leave it. Yeah, we
hairy
don't want to do that,
monsters.
Takes
No.
a while as well.
Suffer the consequences.
All right, so what's happened? You've been swimming since. What's been going on, Lucy?
Well, they were still up to the old trick that they were every week.
Right.
And, we just carried on giving them dirty looks.
Dirty looks, that's not a technique. They're not scud missiles of the body language world. I'll tell you what you need to do is a wee.
A wee?
Just wee. Relax and wee.
I don't know whether they noticed that, though.
Oh, they would if they've got that special chemical that turns it blue.
That doesn't exist, Trevor. That's a myth. A dirty myth. You believe that E.T. actually happened, as does Matt Morgan. And what you want to do is drink lots of vitamins-rich drinks and milk and pungent alcohol.
Pernod, 'cause that makes it cloudy.
What, darling?
Pernod makes it cloudy.
Yeah, get out of your head on Pernod, then you'll probably have it off with them anyway. and then the problem will remarkably just end.
Swimming drunk must be weird.
I've tried swimming drunk.
Very dangerous.
We've done swimming drunk. Remember when we used to throw that lad in the swimming pool when we were out? We were drunk then.
Don't say it wasn't an ongoing thing.
Oh yeah, only happened once. He drowned.
No, he didn't.
No, he's alright. He's fit as a fiddle, that lad. He should be. One of his parents is a gladiator, the other one's a lap dancer. What better genes could any lad have? For heaven's sake. Yeah, that was just when me and Matt were making a television programme. There was one bit, there was a swimming pool. We were throwing this lad into the swimming pool, like, for his own amusement. Then there came a very definite point where it stopped being about the lad's enjoyment and me and Matt challenging how far we could throw that lad as if he were just some sort of object or human javelin. And then we realised that his skull was very fragile and it led to all sorts of different... an awkward moment where I urinated on some coals in a sauna to impress him. That did not impress him and very nearly ended up becoming a policeman. You didn't like it, did you? Really?
Acrid.
Acrid stench.
Never wee on the coals in a sauna.
Never do that. We can say that from personal experience. Okay, so anyway, these perverts continue to gaze upwards at your glorious flesh today then, Lucy.
They did, yeah, and I don't really think we can change nights. Because
can't change
it's only
nights.
open Monday to Wednesday, and
Very
we
restrictive.
go twice a week. So
Council,
if we went
is it?
on Monday and Tuesday, then we don't...
Why don't you go to a private swimming pool or something?
She's saying she can't.
She can't do that. Oh.
Where would we get a private swimming pool?
I don't know how it works.
Health club, join a
Dig
health
one.
club.
Where do you
Yeah, but the
live?
health club swimming pools are really small.
Where do you live?
In Birmingham.
Why don't you confront them on dry
Is that
land?
playing out the window? Confront them on dry land! Yeah, that's a good point. Although we British are a nautical people, you should take them on at sea, in the spirit of Nelson. Plunge them, cannonball them in their gatty-watch. I don't know, I mean...
Swim
I
up
don't know.
and pull their trunks down.
I've got a good idea. Pull down their trunks, also get out your boobs. Really, let's sex this up a
don't
bit.
do that.
What will that do?
But that's encouraging them.
It wouldn't, it'll freak him out, I think. I don't think these people are sexually
It won't.
confident people.
Not unless there were faces on the boobs or something.
Faces on the boobs, right, make the nipple the nose, and then do sort of eyes and a mouth with fangs, and like do some sort of paint on some blood.
I don't think that would be a good idea.
No, make the nipple the eye. You're right.
Confront them on by the vending machines.
Confront them by those vending machines. Lizzie, I begin to get the impression you don't want to be helped. We can't help you if you don't help us.
The
Yeah?
problem is that it's one of those situations where you're not quite sure whether that's actually what they're doing or whether they are just...
Still, this problem's diminishing. These are innocent men. This is
now
like the
it's a
Guildford
fantasy.
Four. They've done nothing wrong. Free those men. Let them look. You're a fantasist. You are a problem. You are,
No, we
woman.
discuss it afterwards in the shower, and we discuss
What, with
how
them?
they were staring at
Jesus
us.
Christ, if you're having showers with these men, no wonder they're looking at you as sex objects. Lucy, I think you are the problem here, and you need to check yourself before you wreck yourself, young lady. Right, there's no helping you. Feel free to give us an update, but make sure that update involves you swimming in the nude. That's Lucy, everyone. Do you feel that we've helped you?
No?
Go that help noise that we like people to go, help, because that's part of the thing we do.
Okay. Oh!
No, we shan't. You're the problem. Now be about your business, you filthy tease. Off she goes. There's old Lucy, gone forever. We've helped her, though, in many ways. Wake up to herself, I think.
Yeah.
Matthew,
Those poor guys.
those poor innocent perverts, have they not suffered enough? If you've got a problem, perhaps you are a pervert. I'd be interested to hear from perverts. What gets them into that state? Email us at russell.brand@bbc.co.uk, or you can call us on 0500 288 291. We need lots of calls because remember, we might be off in a couple of weeks doing all sorts, so we need to get you phoning us, so bloody make an effort. And phone 8 or text 8829. Should we listen, 291, 88291. Right, let's listen to good old Little Richard. Now what happened? Didn't he go mad?
I don't know.
Well, we'll think about that while we listen to Rip It Up.
Well, it's Saturday night and I just got paid. All about my money.
Talking about about sex? Are you talking about sex, Richard? If this is about sex, I think he is talking about sex.
Of course he is. What else could it be?
Oh, you
that was
lot,
the
what's
age of
going
it.
about? He's talking about dancing.
No, he isn't. How nice.
He's going to rip it up, man.
That's the kind of thing a dad thinks.
Yeah, you square.
Talking, Trevor.
Mind you, Trev, yeah. You are the squarest man in history, aren't you?
You reckon?
Look at you. You're just an animated jumper, really.
Oh, that's how you want to believe it. Believe it, baby.
You make Giles Brandriff look like D.D. Ramone. We've got a text message here. It says, Russell, you have just made our night. Well, actually it says might, but I think they mean night. You have just made our night. We are driving back to my house after a first date, Ken and Deb, to make love.
Oh,
They're
dear.
just going home, have it off. After a first date. What does that make you? Did you get sexual anger about that, Matt?
No, I actually thought you don't hear enough people called Ken anymore.
That's the bit of information you honed in on out of that. There's some
Ken.
young people out there having sex.
Ken is not young. Do you think?
Ken might not be young.
No, he is
Ken
young.
I think
Deb.
Deb's young, but Ken sounds like he's in his 60s. Ken, reconsider, you maniac.
All I hope is that they keep the radio on whilst they're doing it.
Oh yeah.
I want them to make love
Go
to the
on,
sound
Ken.
of us.
Debbie, for God's sake, be more bold, be more courageous. Oh, give it a try. Who cares? Nothing's permanent. So, yeah, well done, Ken and Deb. That's a bloody sexy decision you've both made there. Here, look at this from Katie Popplewell. And if that's her real name, Katie Popplewell is the receptionist at the osteopath what me and Matt attend.
Oh, really?
Yep. And she goes, hi there, Russell, Matt and Trevor. Nice to include you, seeing how your spine's still a raggedy, disgusting mess. Looks like a Scalextric's track.
I tell you what, I get compliments on my spine. I do. I have off of people who see the way I sit.
People don't care about your spine, Trevor Locke, or the way you sit. Perched on a jury you are, probably, damning some other poor innocent. I was your receptionist today. Hello again. I'm listening in my room while doing my degree in osteopathy. Try and bloody concentrate, love. You'll never become one at that rate. I hope to see you running round in your undercrackers again soon. Could be sooner than you think, love. So put a phone number on this. I'm joking. Come on. She's a professional woman. She sends us a hug each. Now, Katie, the real issue here is, who do you like best at the old practice? Is it me, a strapping, handsome young man with a lovely back, or
with
this
his pudding down his trousers.
You may call it a pudding, Matthew. It's quite a sweet treat after a meal. Matthew Morgan shuffling in there, very much the modern equivalent of John Merrick, the Ep.11 man. Oh, how kind of you. Can I park my bike?
They fixed me up. I don't go there anymore. I'm all fixed up.
You don't even
I'm
go
cured.
there. So I'm
It's
bound
a
to win
miracle.
that contest. Katie, tell us who you like bestest. Trifle on your trousers. Oh, that's rude. I'm not reading that. But you should be ashamed of yourselves. I don't know. They
Don't
are.
point at a piece of paper.
Matthew! Well, Neville Chamberlain had a war because of one. How do you possibly manage to get trifle on the back of your pants, says an anonymous person. Well, because you've not named yourself, I'm certainly not answering that inquiry. Trifle looks suspicious, Russell. What is all these outrage? For me, an innocent man who wants nothing more than to help others.
It's got sponge in it, trifle.
Yeah, a bit of sponge.
But it's
layer of
sponge that's soaked in liquid.
It's a
Yeah,
sponge-based
so
pudding.
people put booze in it sometimes. Of
Oh,
course.
God.
I can't have no delicious booze. I get it down my pants when I'm sober, for heaven's sake. Christ knows what state I'd be in. So anyway, Matt, I just thought I might like to tell you, and you, Trev, and you, G, over there in the back of your room, and you, Mark, our producer, Anonymous here, and you, Gareth, a pervert. I'd like to tell you all that earlier today I see Richard Madeley go by in a car, and he looked nice and handsome, and he sort of leaned out his window and went, "Hey, all right, Russell," like that. He was in a traffic jam, actually. And I went, "All right, Richard, where's the beard?" Because apparently he'd had a beard recently, and it was a nice exchange. Then I said to the person I'm with, should I have gone over and tried to carry that conversation on a bit?
Definitely.
Or was it
you know
all right
what?
just to leave it there?
Definitely.
Do you know what that means as well?
What?
If you're white, you know, a gay man who has a wife,
Yeah.
they call that his beard. Did you know?
Oh my God, he thinks
So-
that I think that he's
Judy.
married to Judy.
It's a sham.
Oh no! What have I said? I did. I looked over and I went, "Where's
the beard?"
And he went, "I've just got rid of it. It wasn't working out." Oh no! Watch the tabloids. Watch the tabloids. Oh no! I
Really?
hope they're
Did that
still
happen?
together. Yeah, it really did happen. I thought maybe I should have carried on the
Was he
conversation
driving
longer.
himself?
He was driving himself nuts with gay lust from the sound of this analysis. He had some other people in the back of the car.
Children,
When I think
his
of it,
kids.
it was Mark Ullman and Jimmy Somerville.
Oh no.
Oh no! Those guys were pretty happy about something. I don't know what it was. There was stuff flying out the sunroof. There's the line.
Come on.
Okay.
Come along.
Then I went to the osteopath and the whole trifle saga began. So
You're talking about the osteopath a bit too much.
I
aren't
like it. I'm just trying to blend. I'm just making sure I win this arms race. And another thing, right? Since I started going to a personal trainer, which Matt tried to belittle and feminise just because there is a Swiss ball involved, Swiss balls that he later admitted in a private conversation to me he'd seen butch fellas down his gym using. Didn't you?
It's
Didn't
how you use it, though.
Well, I cuddle mine. Is that wrong?
You've got a face on yours. haven't you?
Patricia, I call her. And anyhow, you admit to me it's all right to have that Swiss ball. And right, because I've started going personal training, and only because I've started going personal training, he's training to become a killer, aren't you?
Oh,
He's
no.
having killer lessons.
I'm having lessons in a
Unbelievable.
martial art.
A lethal martial art,
Which
not like a proper
martial
one.
art
Like
is it?
It's Krav Maga.
Not one of them ones where they go, but of course, you only ever use this in a situation when it's the last resort, and mostly it's
No,
about
this is what-
union.
this is
Go,
what-
kick people's heads in down a boozer.
Not even down the boozer.
It's what bouncers learn.
Bouncers
People like
learn
that.
it. Oh, those
It's good, though.
bastions of violence and peace. They use violence arbitrarily sometimes, the old bouncer community. We've suffered at their hands enough.
I know.
Remember in the old days when we didn't have no money and that, and we was all on drugs and causing trouble in clubs?
You
They were
were.
always hounding us.
I was merely standing next to you.
Yeah, I know, you was good friends in them days.
Yeah,
Right,
no,
so
I'm going
why
to get
is-
fit. It's a way of getting fit.
It's not going to get fit, then I'll elbow people's eyes into
You
the back
used to
of
do
their head.
kickboxing with me.
That is a gentleman's sport. The art
It wasn't
of
the way you
kickboxing.
did it.
Oh, no, I did it in hot pants.
You wore a woman's costume. he used to wear a headband. We didn't need to wear a Rambo
I
headband,
look
like
nice
an
in
army
the headband.
headband.
Oh, dear.
Looked
Very
tied around
nice.
his hair.
I look like Billie Jean King. I was very dashing in that headband, I was. Yeah.
You look like Jane Fonda when she went to Vietnam.
That was the best bit of Fonda. That and Barbarella, when she had some good old principles before she married Ted Turner. Much mind you, I don't know anything about this, so I won't condemn it. Now, who's this on the phone that we've got? It's a person, no doubt. Hello, are you there? If you're a person on the phone, it's you. Are you there?
Yeah.
Oh, darling, how could I ever have been rude to you? What's your name, and are you a Sesame Street character?
I'm called Rian.
Rian.
Yeah.
What's up, my love? Because you seem to have a problem, because that is the nature of this item that you call with a problem. I'm just wondering what that problem is.
Well, I'm a vegan.
Right.
That's not the problem.
That's not a problem. Trevor, that's a good principled step.
Sorry, I misunderstood.
Yeah. But my boyfriend told me when he was in the country, he went to watch a fox hunt and he went bird shooting.
Oh my God, the man's
What?
an animal worse than
shooting?
Hitler. He
I
shot
know.
birds and went on a fox hunt. He watched the fox hunt.
Yeah.
Where were they hunting
can
the
you
fox
watch one?
that
'Cause
you
it
were
goes
watching it?
past
Goes
by.
everywhere, doesn't it, Matthew? It must have been taking place, what, like on a tennis court?
Maybe he watched it from his horse.
While firing a gun at you, giggling and fingering himself. Oh, no,
Russell
not on
Brand.
Jesus' planet. So, okay, then, Rian. So he's gone off shooting birds. And at very least watching foxes get killed. Possibly, we don't know, there could have been some self-involvement. What do you feel about this, darling?
I don't know, really.
What is this echoey chamber from where you're contacting us?
Is that all? I'm sorry. Is that better?
You sound like you're in a catacomb. You sound like you're an extra in I, Claudius, and you're conspiring to kill the Emperor. Are ya?
No.
Of course you're not. Now, if you understood even a fifth of that rubbish, I'll give you a shiny new rosette. Now, so what, you're worried about whether to continue the relationship, whether to become a hunt saboteur? What is your dilemma, darling?
I don't know whether I should still go out with him or not.
No, nor do I.
Split up.
Split up with him. Because he's like killing animals and that just for a laugh. That can't be right, can it? Just for a laugh? I mean, think if there is a universal consciousness, perhaps if we are all one energy, killing things for a laugh can't be right. I mean, it's not even that nice to say, for example, call Trevor a twerp on account of his attire. But it's better than killing him for a laugh, which has occurred to me on several occasions, but I've never carried it out. So this boyfriend of yours, let's call him, what's his name, Adolf, was it?
No, Alex.
Alex Sutcliffe, was it? Alex the boyfriend. Right, how old is he?
17.
Right, he's probably redeemable.
He wasn't allowed on a fox hunt. He's lying.
What? You don't sound like you're from the right class to have anyone in your life going on fox hunts. How has this
You
happened?
snob.
do you mean? I'm not pro fox hunting. I'm just saying she's ringing us up from a
The
women's
fox hunting
prison.
community, like to keep people away.
Something we're very proud of. Oh, listen, Rian, we've got to work this out, and swiftly. So, your boyfriend, have you been with him long?
No, not very long.
Right, and then suddenly, you've been a vegan a little while, have you?
About a year, but I was vegetarian before that.
Right, and then you've upped the ante,
Yeah.
but you've almost undone that good work by going out with someone who drapes himself in dead flesh
Yeah,
just for a
'cause I thought
jolly.
you were vegetarian, so I thought you was the person to ask.
Is he a vegetarian? I am a vegetarian, that's right, and I'm happy to be your touchstone in this issue. Now, let's work this right out. Tell me, what is the best thing about this lad, Alex Sutcliffe?
I don't know, really. I'm struggling to think now.
Have you slept with him yet?
No.
Oh, don't bother with
young.
that. Knock it on the head.
But have you
Trevor wants
talked
to
to him
get
about it, Rian? Have you said, look, why are you doing this? Why are you hunting foxes and shooting
Well,
birds?
he said he was anti-hunt, but I don't think
You sure
the
that's what he
point.
said?
No. So you've talked to him about it?
Sorry?
Have you talked to him about the problem you have?
No, I just told him that I was annoyed about it.
You just said that's talking
That's
about
talking
him,
about
Rian,
it,
honestly. Now, what you've got to do is, has he got a car or anything he treasures and values?
No.
He doesn't value anything. He's a nihilist.
He's a Buddhist, maybe.
He's a Buddhist or a nihilist. But if he's a
wouldn't go
nihilist,
fox
you could go fox hunting, but not if you're a Buddhist. If you're a nihilist, you believe nothing's got no meaning, then double negative. Then you could go fox hunting, but if you're Buddhist, you think, oh no, because that fox is me in a way, so I can't kill it. Trevor?
But, well, if you're a Buddhist, you believe in reincarnation, so it doesn't matter if you kill something and eat it, because it will come back in a better form anyway. So.
Not necessarily. It might come back as like a fox in a nappy or something embarrassing.
But we're all going to die, so, it doesn't really matter how we die, does it? Whether we get chased by a
Trevor
fox.
Lock's there.
Trevor, don't validate murder
I'm not
on our
validating
radio
murder.
programme. Right, stop. Listen, right, this young lady needs a strong voice of reason, and unfortunately, that's going to be me. Now, stop going out with that pervert fox killer at once, and give him a good dressing down. Go and find a nice vegetarian boyfriend, like probably on a website called Vegetarians Are Us. In fact, if you're a vegetarian boy, where do you live, darling?
South Woodford.
Where, South what?
South Woodford.
Right, lovely girl from the east, Essex way. What we'll do, we'll find her a nice fella. If you're a good vegetarian lad who's not into fox hunting, ring us or text us now. We'll fix you two up. Don't be a nut or something, because it would make our radio show look very bad if, we got rid of a fox hunter and replaced it with, for example, a murderer. So, so Rian, we're going to find you another boyfriend by the end of this show. Phone your bloke Alex, tell him that you're finishing with him because of his lack of principles, and then we'll sort it out. By the end of the show, we'll have your lovely new vegetarian boyfriend who may be a pervert. At this stage, we can't guarantee that. But, so leave your number and let's move on with our lives. All right,
Alright,
solved.
cheers, thanks
Oh,
a lot.
She never said
go
help.
help. Go help.
Help!
Right, fine, that's it. She qualifies. Right, that's that problem dealt with.
You've set the bar quite high there.
Have I? How?
That's difficult. You've got to find her a partner.
That won't be hard, will it?
Maybe she could have changed that man.
If she's a vegan, Matt, and she's ended up with a fox hunter, her selection process is way out of kilter. She obviously
Opposites attract, Russ. Opposites attract. They could have
it's
a
not a Paula
magnetic chemistry.
Abdul video where she ended up going out of a cartoon cat. This girl's a vegan and she's going to have a fox hunter. What we've got to do is just find her a lad who's basically wouldn't kill a fox. And then he's a step up the ladder, unless he's all crazy or something, and we'll vet him on air, alright? Let's have a listen to a good bit of the old... What are we listening to, Matthew?
Spiz Energy.
Why not listen to Spin Energy? One of my favourite things to do.
Do you want to have another go at saying that?
Spiz Energy.
There we go.
Spiz Energy, where's Captain Kirk? That's what they're wondering about. So, you listen to Russell Brand and Matt Morgan and Trevor Lock on our radio programme that we do now. Dear Russ, I saw a stage production of A Christmas Carol recently and Jacob Marley, Scrooge's dead mate, looked like you but with white hair. Kisses, Joanne. I think that's just a coincidence.
That
one.
is. I think you've based yourself on him, haven't you, really?
Ooh, I feel guilty about
Exactly,
things. That's how he behaved. Dan from Manchester. Dearest Russ, Matt and Trev, on the webcam, like I'm watching like a pervert, I can see the back of what looks like Trevor Lock's head, but I can't notice he's going bald. Is he? Have a look and see. That's
Let's have a look,
Are you going
Trev.
bald, Trev?
No, I've got a helmet on, haven't I? Not a helmet, headphones.
Trevor, you should know the difference
Let's
between
have a
those
look.
things by now.
No, he's alright.
Right, okay.
I'd hate to go bald.
I can't go bald.
Yeah, I know, I'm worried about it. Let's just not do it. It's a be a terrible way to carry on. Hey, Russ, Matt and Trev, love the show. Why didn't you change your pants? Please explain this, says an anonymous... Selena. I just forgot. Just sort of like, you know, they weren't like it was loads of trifle. It weren't like oozing with trifle. Just it was a suspicious-looking stain that he would have noticed and was too polite to mention.
You've had worse on them, haven't you?
What I don't understand is, was it a brightly coloured stain?
It was sort of like...
Could it look
some
like
of the custard
human
and some of the...
body
Yeah,
stuff?
easily.
Oh,
Easily
God.
could have. I should have, you know, but by mentioning it, it would have looked like I was lying. I thought if I don't mention it,
Yeah.
he'll just think, you know, it will just...
Because
silently
trifle
hate.
just seems like a lie, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, but it's not, I can assure you. Now, this is Neil from somewhere called Largs. He says, join the swimming club. I know, it's odd, isn't it? Join the swimming club. Everyone else is too busy to notice. I used to perv and I grew out of it. Well done, Neil.
That's a sensible
Do you think he's
reaction.
moved on to other things, though?
Oh no. I've moved on to killing animals. For my next project, it's going to be a kidnap. Neil, please put our minds at rest. We're terrified. The Birmingham men are innocent. Poor pervs. P.S. Trifle all the way. That's from Dan Leach. Thanks, Dan. Russell, even if it was a trifle, how did you get it on your pants? Well, just I was watching the telly or something, and like, you know, sometimes I eat trifle in an extravagant manner.
He lives like a little monkey. He has the heating up to a level that only a child would put it up to. He just rats around in his little underpants.
I
Crouches in
tried.
front of his bookcase, scratching himself. Takes a book, scampers back to his little room. I've seen it. It's not nice.
I do not.
You're not allowed to
scamper.
open the window or door. Don't let air in. What do you think?
That's where the microbes will get us. Where's my jars of urine? Morrissey, you've lost your tuxedo.
What about when you used to have two types of milk? Milk that was good and you had soy milk. And they had this cheap soy milk for me. What was that?
Was delicious Matt milk for Matt's enjoyment. Why you would resent having your own milk, you ungrateful, selfish
Opening
boy.
the cheap one. Oh, this one's open. You might as well use this one. Why can't I have that stuff? Don't look in there.
That's not for you. That's my dairy treasury. Things within there are not for your prying eyes. Keep away. Matt.
Why do you even buy a bad milk? You must be in the shop. Do you do your own shopping?
Of course not.
Well, so
does
you
it.
go, get a cheap version of everything in case
Lynn.
Matt comes over.
Lynn, I'm expecting a visit from Matt. Now, would you mind awfully?
Could you break these biscuits up a bit, please? Just kick them about.
Get those ridiculous pink ones that only happened in wartime. Feed him them through the bars. He'll be content with those. Listen, mate, that actually was a coincidence or something. I can't be expected to justify my actions, particularly not when you're telling the truth. Now, what else have we got to worry about? Oh, yeah, I'll tell you this thing, because this might evoke a huge response from members of our planet. Now, I don't like it much, as what happened to me
Hang on a
today.
minute, this is just noises.
No, these are words. You have a look at the English dictionary, you'll find all of them in there. Not in any order that you might find coming tumbling out of my little mouth trap, but words they are nonetheless. Anyway, Coleridge Taylor, people like that jumbled up words, and why oughtn't I? So, here's my point. I don't much care for it when a fella, burly type, goes up to you, and he'll say, right, such as what happened to me earlier today, he'll be describing a fight or a violent situation. This fella was. I like him. He's a lovely bloke, actually. I really think he's really nice. That's what made it all the more awkward. He's describing a violent encounter. Yeah, right, I'll tell you what happened. Right here, yeah, I've shoved him in the chest. Shoves me in the chest. I know what the words shoved him in the chest means. That immediately triggers for me
You've
an
got
image.
quite a low threshold for that sort of stuff.
I don't like being... What do you mean? Why do you need to act out the shove in the chest? If you're telling someone a story where they get shoved in the chest, what you got to shove them in the chest for?
Bringing it to life for you.
Just tell me, I'll understand. Say it's like a story about, like, I don't know, sort of, some sort of odd genital contact, or a brilliant, glorious work of art, or a firework display. You can't act that out. Why have you got to act out these violent encounters? I don't like to be shoved in the chest in this fashion.
Who was this? Richard Madeley?
It was Madeley. He clambered out of the car in his little denim shorts. Hot pants they were,
Russell.
really.
We had a fight yesterday.
And it was pretty rough stuff. One
shoved
fella
him.
gripped me round the waist like so. He spun me round. Before I knew it, my hot pants were on my head. My beard was furious. I think it's going to leave me. No, not the views of whatever this is we're on. Now, so there's some... What? It's Real Radio 2. We've got someone on the old telephone box. I believe it's a human being. It's called Jen. Hello, Jen.
Hi.
Jen, What seems to be the trouble, my dear?
Well, I have a very good friend.
You've got a good friend. That's immediately now. That's a lovely situation to be in.
Isn't it?
I can't even imagine it. I'm surrounded by idiots. So you've got this good friend.
Yes, and I happen to be in love with him.
Oh no! What a dilemma. This could be a sitcom.
Fallen in love with you.
She's fallen in love with a good friend.
Oh, God.
He's actually going out with someone, and he's been going out with them for a few years now.
What are we gonna do? Really awkward. Okay, so they've been with that person a couple of years, but you're actually in genuine love with them.
Do they know you're in love with them?
They know. Why did you tell him, Jen?
Well, it's more of a... It's like an agreement between us.
Have you slept with this man?
No.
It's an agreement.
What is this agreement? This sounds like the Treaty of Versailles, which led to the Second World War because of its unfair terms.
Okay, agreement's not the right word. But
What
he
have you got?
said to me, like, that he's attracted to me, and, we tell each other that we love each other.
They tell
and
each
it's
other
kind
they
of
love
in a
each other.
platonic way.
This is a
Well,
terrible...
he thinks it's a platonic way, but I'm really like, but I do love
How old are you, Jen?
I'm 23.
Right, how old's this mystery man?
23.
93?
23.
23?
Oh, everyone's 23.
Everyone in this story is 23. How old's his actual girlfriend?
She's 33.
Oh, I knew there was an older
She's on the
one. I
way
could sense
out.
it.
33, the age that Jesus was when he died. Look what happened to him. Ended very badly. So,
We've ended very well in some ways.
oh yeah, Christianity. That was a brilliant idea by good old Jesus.
Ended very badly.
Yeah, also there were some negative side effects to that for the old planet. But nonetheless, let's not attack Christianity when it's just a simple problem about a girl having an affair. Now, are you on the precipice, Jen, of snogging this fella? Let's call him Morris.
What contacts been had?
None.
No sexy
none of that.
contact.
He would never ever cheat on his girlfriend, and I would never ever want him to.
Where do you live?
In Scotland.
Oh yeah, Inverness. We've already said that.
Oh, right. Well,
You live right in the middle of Inverness.
Well, don't grass her up.
Oh no! Right. She lives somewhere. It could be Inverness,
No,
but
there's
it
another
might
Inverness.
not be.
There's one in
There's
Kent.
loads of Inverness.
Shoeburyness, Inverness, all the same sort of thing, and let's not judge each other for pity's sake. All right. Oh, well, it seems you've got to sit. Why don't you meet other men? I think you're torturing yourself and won't allow yourself to
she
fall in love.
loves him.
What sort of relationship do you have with your dad?
I have a really good relationship with my dad.
There we are then, that's the problem.
Works. Hold on. What do you mean, Trevor? Your analysis is way off.
No, well, I really think that ultimately you need to fall in love with somebody else.
Could you be a lesbian
no,
and go
no.
out with this vegetarian girl we've got?
Exactly.
Could you try that? Have you ever thought of being a lesbian?
No, but I am vegetarian.
Well,
Good
there we are.
start.
Hang on a minute.
Good start.
She's in love with this bloke. She should stay with the bloke.
No, because
You
she's going to have a 33-year-old.
So, he's has feelings for her as well.
On his 33-year-old. Have this lesbian affair, Jen.
33-year-old.
Do that for us.
Everything comes to an end. That thing will come to an end. Just wait around.
Just wait around.
That's it.
Wait.
I've been waiting around for 3 years
Yeah,
now.
3
Don't
years,
wait.
Matt.
Okay.
You're wasting your
Being a
time.
bit greedy.
No.
Sitting around in Shoeburyness, stroke Inverness, squandering the best years of her life,
Exactly.
letting the flower of her youth
Completely.
wither on
I
the
know what to
vine.
do. I know what to do. Go up to the bloke and tell him exactly how you feel and say, I'm in love with you. I want you to leave.
He
I'd lo-
knows.
He knows, Matt.
They've talked
Well,
about
no,
this.
Right,
no,
go on
he doesn't
holiday and
know
meet
that
another bloke.
I'm in love with him as such.
Listen, Jen. How old are you again? You're 23. You're
Why are you so obsessed with age?
because I'm just seeing if it's right to advise her to be a lesbian, and I am going to. Be a lesbian, go out with this other girl. In fact, where's a bloke for that other vegetarian? We'll find you a bloke as well. We'll find you a bloke. What sort of bloke? What's he like, this fella that you're in love with? Describe him a bit. The things you like about him.
He's very polite.
Right, if you're a polite person, you're listening, you are still included in the race.
That's a
What
funny
else?
thing to have on the top of the list.
Good looking.
He's good looking. Now, if you're good looking and polite, Trevor, don't look at me like you could be considered. You're not good looking, and your manners are abhorrent. Right, so if you're good looking and polite and listening, you're still in the race. Tell us some more of the qualities. Tell us some more of those qualities.
He's quite creative.
He's quite, what, creative?
Hold on.
Trevor, take him outside in the corridor. He's unsettling me. He's touching himself. Jen, so he's creative, he's polite, he's good looking. If this
does he wear?
description applies to you, for God's sake, the number's 0500 288 291. Tell us some more information, Jen.
Dress sense.
He likes comics.
He likes, what do you mean, like
Comics.
comedians or like graphic novels?
Like graphic novels.
Right, okay.
Which is kind of cute.
He's kind, you like that about him. G, he's punching the air. G, you are neither polite. What is the other things? Good looking, you are, I suppose you're quite
He's
good
good looking. Come off it.
Alright. Trevor, stop trying to have it off with everyone on earth.
Oh,
he's
please.
good looking. Oh, blimey, I'll write him a poem.
Spin my words into.
Crikey. Right, now listen, we're going to find someone for you. Is there any other qualities you want to mention for this person? This mystery guy that we're going to find for you?
No.
Right,
She's
good.
in love with someone. I don't know why you're doing this.
Because love is an illusion, Matt. It's a trick by the brain.
It's a mental
to get
illness.
us to procreate. Now, come on.
You two nitwits.
We're not nitwits. Now, in a minute, we're going to have a little bit of old newsy poos. But firstly, let's make sure that we solve these problems. If you're what are we looking for? A vegetarian man who don't like fox hunting. Why haven't you texted us yet? There must be loads of you. Morrissey, for example. He's on that list. Why is he not bothered? Right, then there's what do we want for this girl? Someone who's creative, polite, good-looking. You live maybe in Inverness. Maybe. And if you're that girlfriend and thinking, hold on, that now sounds like my boyfriend.
Leave him.
But yeah, leave him.
You're too old for him.
Let him go. You're holding him back, can't you see? No, I tell you what. So, is there any other information? He likes comics. If this is a description of you, come on, pick up your phone, 0500 288 291, or text us 88291. If that's a description of you, for God's sake, make an effort. We've got 2 listeners out there having it off, at least. Give us an update, you, Ken and Deb. I want to know what's going on. I want to know positions. I want to know the sort of things you say to each other while it's happening. Now, Jen, leave your details with Claire Jones or Michael, and we'll get to the bottom of this mystery, and we'll find you someone. Do you feel confident in our ability to find you love? Jen?
No.
Jen! Jen, you ruined the momentum going into the news. Jen, we've got you, listen, go away, because the news has got to start now. Is it Andrea Simmons? We're in for a hell of a treat now. We're going to a little show called The News. Andrea Simmons, get the words cockeyed optimism into the news, because it's cockeyed optimism that's guiding us through this show. We will find these people love. We will find a solution to all the world's problems. 88 to 91 FM, this is Radio 2 from the BBC.
Here is the news at 10 o'clock. This is Andrea Simmons. Now back to that cockeyed optimist. Here's Russell Brand.
That's Killer Keller, reveal your inner self, all on the mic, is I believe the phrase he uses, because all them sounds is made with his gobby-wob, such as this one. Don't criticise my beatboxing.
That's terrible.
Not all
my
of them.
beatboxing is alright. Your beatboxing was rubbish.
That was good, then.
Go on, do a bit more.
Not all of those sounds were made with his mouth, though.
They are.
Some of them must have been made with his
All on the
bottom.
mic.
Or at least his armpit, sure.
Trevor, I don't know how you live your life. Although, Trevor's just got some... What is this?
It's a social experiment. It's
Crackpot
trying to make the
experiment.
world a better place, a
Just trying
friendlier
to get
place.
you
Give us an outline of your social experiment,
What I'm
Trev.
trying to do is I'm trying to make people more friendly, more open. I think
And how are you doing this?
by
being
encouraging them to
kind?
speak to strangers
And
and,
how
to
are you
say
doing
hello.
that?
By giving them an opportunity, an in to make.
And what
to
is
break the
this
ice.
in?
Business cards with
Business
you
cards
have a
you give
lovely
down.
smile, I like your shoes, you look interesting, which you tick, put your number on it. In fact, they all just takes you to Trevor's MySpace.
website.
No, it doesn't go to
everyone
no,
in
it
the
doesn't.
world ends up sexually vulnerable to Trevor Locke's desires.
No, don't.
Trevor, don't
How
dish
dare
out
you?
though.
How dare you?
But I'll tell you how dare, Trev. You've just given me one. You've tried to rope me. You've tried to snare me with your Trev
tried to
says hello.
snare.
Oh, that on the top.
I've just got one here that says, you have a lovely smile, I like your shoes, you look interested, and then other, and in this space where it says other, the word tits is written, Trevor. The sexist word.
Matt Morgan
Don't
did that.
point at that young man, Matt Morgan.
Do not point at me.
Well,
That
you wrote
lad
that.
is
Do
learning
not
how to
point
kill
at
with
me.
his bare hands. Other than that, he's a thoroughly decent human being. Trevor, I don't know how you live with yourself dishing out these cards. However, if you want to look at Trev's website, why don't you? What's the web address?
It's trevsaid.com, and it's not my website. It's for everybody.
That's not what it says on it.
Trev said to say hello.com or Trev
Trev,
said.
with websites, you have to get it right.
You have to
There's so
do the
many
exact
of them. They all
thing.
go to the same place.
What? You've done more of these?
It's
What are you up to?
you?
Look, people help me out. It started off with Trev said.
People help me out. Are they social workers, these people? Are they people that visit you? Is it
No.
Meals on Wheels?
No, it's a man called John Bing, and he's got his own company, and he puts the website up.
Well, listen, this
He
John
designed a
Bing,
fire for me once.
Yeah, he's a lovely
I
man.
know
isn't
him,
he?
yeah.
he designed a fire for you.
A flyer, not a fire.
Had a fireplace,
Going
a
on?
clock
Are you
over the top. and
cavemen
everything.
perverts. Right, now listen, stop the madness at once. I'm very
not
worried about
madness.
all of you. Yeah, we've got to promote Malcolm Hardy memorial gig at the Hackney Empire.
When's that?
Tomorrow.
Well done. Well, is it definitely tomorrow, Matt?
Probably.
It probably
No, when
No,
is
it
it?
is, I
Come
think.
on.
Malcolm Hardy, a very fine stand-up comedian, some say the pioneer of alternative
A legend.
comedy. A legend in many respects. Matt, you met him, didn't you? You spent some time with him?
Yeah, slept over his house once. He
Did
was mad.
you? Yeah.
He was lovely, wasn't he? But he was completely mad.
He was mad.
He's friends with Vic Reeves and Jonathan Ross and Jules Holland and that.
Some say he stewarded them to success, some of those people. There's a memorial at Hackney Empire. Go to it if you wanna, because it'll be good. Go to it. That is an endorsement and what I could only describe as a plug. Go to that thing. It might be raising money for a good cause, I think.
Probably. So. We should get the facts.
We should find out when it is.
We're a little bit more postmodern, a bit post-structuralist in the way we do our
Could
plugs.
be tomorrow.
Could be tomorrow.
It's probably for charity.
It's probably for charity. It's definitely for Malcolm Hardy. Go to it, please. Russ, says Steve, let me get this right. Polite, good-looking, creative, loves comics.
Hello.
These are character traits that youth of today are considering as quality love aspects. Where's the passion and trifle? Steve, all I want to know, son, right, and I'm aggressive about this, is have you got those qualities? If you have, get on the blower, because we need a vegetarian and we need, what's the other one? Someone who's these things.
It's weird to say polite first.
I know,
very odd, isn't it?
Why does she want someone polite?
Why not sense
she's
of humour or
aggressive.
good looks?
No, because she's aggressive.
So
she likes to be
No,
reined
she
in.
wasn't.
She was quite sweet and polite herself.
That's her
Last thing-
radio voice, though, Russ.
She needs to go to someone like Nick Cotton, saying, "All right, darling,
Hello, Ma.
I'm back, Ma." That's the theme
Killer
tune
Keller there,
done by Killer Keller. Listen, hello, boys, says Lisa. I hurt my back today while bending down to get some underwear, you perv. It wasn't even mine. I was stealing it from an elderly man. No, it wasn't. It's from a low shelf, and now I can hardly move with the pain. What do you recommend I do to relieve the pain, since you're regular visitors to the osteopath? Go osteopath, Lisa.
Lay on the floor.
Deep
Lay
heat.
on the floor? Don't try and reduce people to that method.
Lay on the floor, honestly.
All right, lay on the floor. Now, if people, men of England, I am trying to navigate you to what I can only describe as sexual opportunity. Why are you ignoring us? If you're a man, even if you're not polite and don't collect comic books, just ring up, pretend you do. Once you've met her.
No.
What?
No.
Trevor? What do you mean, no?
That is
You
not.
just hand out business cards to strangers with the word knockers written
No, I
on
don't.
it.
That's what Matthew Morgan did. Mine says, nice shoes, like your smile, you look interesting. I'm trying to be friendly. He was defacing
Stop
it with...
pointing at everyone if you're trying to be friendly.
Yeah, Trevor.
Sitting over there.
All pompous and full of yourself,
I
like
ain't being
Richard
pompous.
Nixon.
I'm just saying, don't get people who have got only one thing on their mind to pretend to be polite to that young lady up in Scotland.
No, not one thing on mine, but I mean, the biological sexual imperative is going to be a motivating factor in all human
It
relationships.
started off as us offering people help.
It did,
Now it's
didn't
just
it,
like some
Matthew?
sort of weird dating club.
Exactly.
Right, if you've got a problem that's right, Eldon, well actually, now you say that, there's someone online who's got a problem, it's nothing to do with dating, her name's Delka, I think, she's from Canada. Delka, is that how I pronounce your name? Well, it is how I pronounce your name, am I right to do so?
It's Delcia.
I couldn't have been more wrong, could I? Delcia, dear. Delcia, you're calling us from Canada, I'm assuming your problem is a severe one.
It is. I think it is.
What is this problem?
I'm from a little town called Little Britain,
Right.
and of course you know of the show Little Britain.
Yeah, we do, we watch it on our
yeah.
tellies.
Exactly, and you're our friends with David, so...
Yes, he's a very, very lovely man. And Matt is also. They're both very gifted, lovely fellas. Now, what the hell could be your problem with these delightful and talented men?
I don't have a problem with them so much.
Why
I
are you
have a
criticising them then and saying that Matt Lucas's civil partnership was a farce and should be banned? Why are you saying these things and that David Walliams is also gay? Why are these outlandish statements being made?
It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with the fact that whenever people find out where I'm from, they assume that where I'm from, the people are exactly like the people on the show.
Right, now that's going to be annoying, isn't it? That is
It's a little bit annoying, yes.
Right, well, we'll try. Well, we'll just tell them that they. Well, right, they go up to you, go, oh, hello, I'm from Little Britain. And then what
Like, I
happens?
don't recognise you. Which sketch were you in?
Yeah, I see. Right,
Yeah.
hold on. Let's do a role play. I'll be playing the part of an ignorant tourist talking to you. All right, love. I've started. All right, love.
How are you?
Yeah, fine. Are you a vegetarian?
Stop
No,
it.
I'm not.
Where do you live?
One.
Where do you live?
I live in Little Britain.
Ah, do you? Are you the only guy in the village? Are you a lady? You know, oh, I want a pirate board game. Doctor Who, the TARDIS, hiya, karate, but all in the best possible taste. Is that what your life's like?
Oh, of course. Not
Right.
really, though.
Right.
I mean, sure, there's lots of rednecks and crazy people in my town, but I can't say that we're anything like that.
I think that your town sounds every bit as interesting as Little Britain. And perhaps you should just, you know, I mean, these people that are mistaking you for, like, a member of the Little Britain cast, how often is it happening?
How often is it happening?
How
Well,
often, Delcia? Is this a perpetual problem?
It is, because a lot of people, they play it on Showcase, which is a really popular television station over here, and so everyone watches it when they're drinking
got an
for
idea.
the night. So
Well, what you want to do, right, is whenever anyone says to you, "Oh, Little Britain," and then make some allusion to the successful English comedy show, brilliantly performed and written by the two aforementioned men, say to them, "Go, yeah, I am. Also, I am a fervent believer in white supremacy." Right? And then they will think, white supremacy, that's an interesting topic. They'll think this woman's a crazed racist. Then they'll be so interested in talking to you about your crazed racist views that Little Britain no longer will be a problem. Or, just say outlandish things. Matt, that's good advice, isn't it?
No.
I don't really know if that would work out for me.
Change the name of the town, get a petition together and change the name of the town.
Royston Vasey.
Or Blackadder.
Change the name of the town. I don't know if I really want to do that. I was figuring maybe I could start speaking to them in a British accent and maybe see if that shut them up.
No,
Claims
don't encourage them.
Have a go, try now.
Do a British
I'm
accent.
not very good at it. I don't even...
No, that
You gotta
sounded
know the
Canadian.
proper
This is
words
bad.
to use, like...
Go on, right, say the sentence, "I am a woman and I'm English and proud of my Englishness and my button-down sexuality."
And my what sexuality?
Button-down.
Button down?
Yeah. Go on, say that sentence then, all English.
I am a woman and I am British. That's the best I got there.
Good.
That's rubbish.
That's alright. Listen, I think you're such a brilliant impressionist and obvious white supremacist that your problems will soon dovetail into a glorious solution. Trevor, you look confused.
Well, I'm just saying that the Canadian accent sometimes sounds a little bit like the West Country accent, so you just need to get the burr of some of your for.
Your problem, Dulcia, is, in my view, we'll work on it, but I think the white supremacy is an obvious answer for you.
Stop saying that.
Don't do that. Don't do
I
that.
think you had enough trouble with that recently.
Just grab them by the ears, Dulcie. Grab them by the ears and pull them towards them and then kiss them on the nose.
There, do that, Dulcia. Dulcia, we've got to move on. That is your problem. Pull people right towards you. Give them
She
one
never
of
said
Trevor's
help.
cards. Say help.
All right, thanks.
No, go help. Go help. Go help.
Help!
Well done. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
We've got to make people do that earlier in the item. Okay. Well, right. Well, I think we were.
You're not helping anyone today.
Yeah, but a
It's
problem.
baffling them.
proper
You're
problem.
baffling people.
How? What? But just saying, pretend to be
Talking about white
racist because that's a much
supremacy.
worse problem.
Not a real problem though, Russ, was it?
No, it wasn't really, the town's name. I mean, I didn't want to say to her, but if that's that woman's worst problem, do charity work or something.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think Matt and David have been to that town?
No, I don't reckon they'll. I don't know. Maybe, perhaps there's been
I'm
a
sure they've been
documentary for
photographed
it.
next to the
Oh, Little
sign.
Britain. Yeah, of course it will have happened. Good evening, Russell, Matt, and Trevor. Says Anya. It's still cold and horrible outside. I want to warm your hearts with love. I'm sat here in a fleece, surrounded by pillows. I'm suspicious of how you got that trifle in your underwear. Why is everyone so suspicious about this obvious problem?
Because once you told us you had sex with a Hoover.
Yes, I suppose things like that will prejudice the way I'm viewed. Let's listen to Pearl Jam, Even Flow, and then we'll, for God's sake, I want to find them young girls, partners.
I'm glad you said that sentence with that ending.
Yeah.
But yeah, right, come on. For God's sake, let's help each other. Even Flow, Pearl Jam, listen to Russell Brand on BBC Radio 2. That Malcolm Hardy thing we were on about is 28th of the 1st, 2007. That's tomorrow. It's at 7 o'clock. Contact Hackney Empire box office. It's got good people on. Vic Reeves, Harry Hill, Kevin Eldon, Johnny Vegas.
Oh, brilliant.
It'd be brilliant. Go to that, and then sort of things from Malcolm's funeral service, clips from that. It'd be really good. So yeah, go to that. And I don't know if money goes anywhere. It don't really matter, does it? Oh no, it's good to give money to charity, but go anyway. So yeah, there's that. Now, what's them other things we've got to be worried about? Trevor, are you worried about something?
I'm worried about the way you've defaced my scheme to make the world a friendlier place.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. I'm sure your intentions are good.
Thanks.
So what do we do,
let's
Trevor? We
support
give
it.
these to girls?
Not to girls, to boys, to anyone that you wouldn't normally feel comfortable saying hello
You'll
to.
just freak them out because it looks
I won't.
corporate.
Doesn't look corporate.
It looks like a marketing ploy.
I remember Trevor saying a little while ago he was planning something like this. Oh, let's start giving out things. Oh, Trev says hello. It'll make people more friendly. Don't you think, Trev, living in a city such as London, if you thrust that into someone's palm, it's going to be treated as an act of terrorism?
Don't thrust it. But sometimes, Russ, sometimes when people are on the tube,
Yeah.
their eyes glance across the carriage, smiles,
Yeah.
but it's noisy in that carriage,
Right.
it's crowded, you can't really do anything, but you can give a card that says you've got nice shoes.
Trevor, this is egotistical. It says Trevor on there 5 times on a business
That's
card.
John Bing did that, I didn't want
Don't
to
blame
do
John
5
Bing.
times.
5 times on a business card, but if Mao Zedong had made that business card, he wouldn't have mentioned his own name that many times. You are an egotistical man, Trevor the Cockety-Lockety. Now, this programme is about solving other people's problems, not Trevor Locke's problems. Earlier, we spoke to Jen. She was from Inverness. She's in love with someone else. She's fallen in love with someone. She shouldn't fall in love with someone else's guy. There's 2 subtitles for you right there. So, what we've got to do is find a bloke that's appropriate for her. She wants someone who's creative. She said she wants someone who's polite. Polite was the most important thing. What were the other things she said? Likes comics.
And
What were the other factors? I think she said good looking. You've got to be good looking, this fella. We've got Dan on the line. Dan, hello, mate.
All right, Russell, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm in a good mood, but, like, you know, you've got to be aware, Dan, that we're here to help this young lady, and we're going to be giving you quite a grilling, sunshine.
Oh, that's fair enough. I'm used to having quite a grilling.
Right, okay, already you sound like a pervert. Now, Dan, would you describe yourself as a polite fella?
Yeah, I'm polite.
Right, let's do some social tests. Yeah, I'm polite. That, in my mind, that was an impolite response to
Definitely,
that
yeah.
question.
yes,
No,
I
that's
am.
just my accent.
That's just your accent. Where are you from?
Ripon in Yorkshire.
Griffin, Yorkshire. We can't judge him for that.
It's too far away for a start.
No, come on, Matt. Let's
Sorry,
try and
sorry.
find these young people some bloody love, shall we? Now, let's see if he's polite. Let's think of a test to see if he's a polite person or not.
I've got
Now,
a question for him.
Go on, Trev. Is it about being polite?
No, it's about him saying that he's used to getting a grilling. What is that about? Ask him, Russ, ask him.
Oi, you, young man. Why are you used to getting a grilling?
It's just part of being from Yorkshire.
People don't grill people from Yorkshire, young man.
It means something different up there.
Okay. Now listen, let's see if you are polite. Now you're at a banquet or something. Now there's knives and forks on the table, little ones, bigger ones than that.
What's the rule?
What is there as a rule? Now what are you gonna do, young Dan, if that's your real name, which I doubt? Which ones of them bits of cutlery are you gonna pick up first and place neatly by your genitals?
No, come on.
You eat from the outside in.
Good lad! That is the correct answer, you polite little git! Now, is there any, let's do some more inquiries. Right, so he's proved he's a bit polite. A bit polite. Are there any more polite things we can quiz him about? Matthew, do you know anything about etiquette?
Not really.
Etiquette? No, it's obvious from your conduct, farting your way through life.
Me?
Trevor, do you know anything about...
Can I just correct him slightly
Yes.
about eating from the outside in? It made it sound like that you eat from the outside of the plate inwards. That's-
We knew
No,
what he
you
meant.
use
You
the
take...
knives and forks from the outside.
Oh, well done. I just thought you were going to be picking at the plate round the outside and gradually working your way in the
It's not
spiral.
solitaire. Stop wasting Dan's time. He's about to fall in love.
Okay, when
Right.
you meet
Well,
a
I think
person,
he's
which
polite.
cheek do you kiss them on first?
Dude, that's not a rule.
Um,
There's no rule to that.
either or.
Right.
Well done.
It's
It's
a
a trick
trick
question.
Trick
Don't kiss them.
question.
You merely shake their hand.
Shake their hand
Even if it's your
politely.
own mother.
Or perhaps maybe just cup one of their bottoms, cuddle them in tightly, grind yourself
You're
against them.
obsessed with
What?
being rude tonight.
Oh yeah, I am actually. I don't know what that is. It might be my libido kicking in, bloody thing. Right now, Dan. Okay, so we've proved, I think, that you're polite. Now let's see if he's creative. Say you looked out your window and you see a sunset or something like that. Write an effing poem about that sunset right this minute. We want a poem about a sunset that
Now.
evokes the idea of eternity, infinity, and beauty in the way that beauty unites us all. Now hit
Oh,
us
you're
with
not
some
allowed
lyrics.
to say sunset.
No, that would... Okay, you can let him. No, don't.
Oh, beautiful light playing upon the hills. How your light shines upon my life so nicely.
I have exposed my
nicely.
breath.
That's
You
a
are
polite
so
verb.
creative
It's a
that I
polite poem.
exposed my own knockers there.
hello, son. Been meaning to tell you.
That you're a beautiful, lovely little poet. Our resident poet, Mr. G, one of the best poets in
It's
England,
just vomited.
has just denounced poetry as a medium. No, he hasn't. He applauded very politely and beamed like a proud father looking at a lovely little son doing a nice poem. I must, for my part, expose my beautiful, tender, lactating breasts.
Why did you pull your t-shirt down?
Because I was turned on, Matt, by the poem. Because I tell you
That's a
what,
horrible thought.
That's a bit impolite.
It's a horrible sight.
It's not a horrible sight.
It's
Listen,
not very polite getting your man boobs out.
listen, I'm under no obligation to be polite. I'm not trying to seduce this remote woman.
You should be polite. You're on the radio too.
Nonsense, hogwash.
The good old BBC.
Listen, he's been a bit aggressive. I don't think
He's got the polite award. He thinks he doesn't have to be polite anymore.
Listen, mate, that's not done. It's not like my GQ award for stylish, which means I can now dress how I like, and
For
it's automatically
stylish?
stylish.
I got an award for stylish.
Yeah, look what I've got on my mantelpiece. That's for stylish. This other one's for doing some comicals. See you later. This one's for Shaggity of the month. Okay, now listen.
What were the other criterion?
What are the other criterion? Creative.
Comics, he's got to like comics.
Do you like comics?
Yeah.
Okay, test him.
Right. Have you read about Hulk? He gets angry. What then happened?
What colour does he go?
What colour does Hulk go when he's angry?
Green.
No, black
No,
and white.
black.
The originals are all black and white.
All black and white, and there was a short period where he went to a casino or something. Now, listen, alright, now let's ask him another.
Oh, no.
What year was Judge Dredd born?
2024.
Yes, that is the correct answer. Why was Scrappy-Doo drafted into the cartoon Scooby-Doo when we all hated him and thought him to be a fiendish
You said
little
this, but I
character?
That
love
was a
Scrappy-Doo.
cartoon, it wasn't a comic.
Good
Brilliant.
boy.
Another
Well
trick
done,
question.
Well done. Good lad. What, Matt, what are you saying about Scrappy-Doo?
You don't like Scrappy-Doo. I thought it was
Hate him.
good. But he was clever.
Scooby-Doo's annoying.
It was really
he's not.
annoying.
He ruined the good comic.
Scooby-Doo's annoying. He was a coward.
Scooby was that was his comic.
Scooby.
That was his comic flaw.
Yeah.
He was a coward. He had to investigate ghosts. It'll be a scream. Him and Shaggy, they got on fine.
And why could Scooby-Doo only go, and then Scrappy could talk properly, like a little New Yorker?
I think they said Scooby snacks.
Let me at him, Uncle Scoob.
That's not bad. Listen, Uncle
Scooby's being a
Scoob.
Scooby snack.
Shut that.
Can't handle himself
Stop
anymore.
it! Be quiet, Dan! Dan, silence! We're on a comedy riff. At the moment, you've served your purpose. We've reached the jump-off point and we're on our way. Now listen.
No, it's
so
all broken now.
we've ruined that lovely bit of comedy, Dan. I hope
What was the
you're
other
proud of yourself.
criteria? Good looking. Are you good looking?
Dan, what do you look like?
I'm about 6 foot.
He's avoiding the
fat
question.
And jolly.
Avoiding the question.
Jolly. Okay, now listen, let's not judge everyone on their looks, because that's bad. Now then, do we think he's good enough to be in with a chance with Jen?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're the
He's
judges,
thinking on his feet.
He's thinking on his
He's
feet.
charismatic, I think,
He's
Russ.
charismatic. He's like he could be the new David Koresh, this lad. He's a brilliant bonkers cult leader.
David who?
David Koresh, he was the Waco Siege. Let's get behind you, Dan. Now then, Dan, right.
How old are you, Dan?
Pardon?
How old are you?
19.
Very young.
Sexy
She's
little
23.
sod.
Yeah, I know, but he's young. And
He's young. Right, Dan, right, we're going to make this happen. Right, we've got Jen on the line. Jen, are you there, dear?
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good, good. You sound fine. Now, you sound like you've got a little bit of a twinkle in your voice. Not like before, when you were trapped in that love triangle thing that was going to destroy us all. You sound now that you can see a vision of a happy future. What about that poem that Dan done? Good, wasn't it? What do you mean, What do you mean, in a judgmental way, you cynical, spiteful...
I thought for improvising, very good.
It was
Very
good. It was improvised poem, and he's held his own against us three. We've been like giving him a little dig. He's held himself together. I think he's a nice lad, isn't he?
He's a little bit too young and a little bit rude.
Yeah. Oh, he's been rude, Dan. You blew it on the rudeness.
Politeness was top.
Oh, politeness, Dan. Why do you see it, Dan? Dan, you've been a good contributor, but now you have to go. That's Dan. Goodbye, Dan. We love you, Jen. You're being a bit fussy, love. Jen, you're being fussy. You're falling in love with someone who's going out with another bird. And here we get Dan on the line, a lovely guy, a good spunky fella.
It has to be perfect, Russell.
You are striving after perfection. You're in love with someone who's having it off with someone else,
I
even
know
as we
what she's
speak.
He has to be as good or better than
As
Dan,
good as
isn't
better.
it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Don't
well, the
settle
quest
for-
must continue. Don't ever settle for
And let me tell
yeah.
you this, Jen, he will never be as good because what you have is a dream, it's a fantasy, it is not real.
It's the
Oh,
unobtainable.
so rude.
Of course.
Everyone's
politeness.
rude. Everyone's rude.
You're a politeness Nazi, you are. I can't imagine what kind of utopia this will be, Jen, if we take your views seriously. Jen, we're going to try and meet your ridiculously high standards. We'll find someone else. We'll get another bloke on the phone. In fact, is there one there now? Bloke on the phone. Right, Jen, you stay quiet for a bit. No more Jen for a bit. Bloke, hello? Bloke! If you're a man and you can hear me speaking and you've got a phone clamped to the side of your head, speak now.
Go ahead, I'm speaking.
Good lad, well done. See, he was polite there, and
Very
he did a nervous laugh at the end of his talking. I like it. What's your name, Sunshine?
Drew.
Drew, the human man. Drew, firstly, are you polite?
Very.
Right. Okay, let's do some politeness tests. Let's think of a politeness test. Bit of the old etiquette. Right. Say you was at, I don't know, a...
Rave.
Rave. You're at a rave. Now someone, perhaps it's your auntie, does a blow-off. Now how are you going to navigate your way around this difficult situation without embarrassing your auntie or your fellow ravers? Go on, Drew, tell us.
I'm going to dance my way off the dance floor and escort her out the back door.
Ooh. Now that's not a euphemism, is it, Dave?
No.
Because remember, this woman is your auntie. It's not a euphemism.
That's true.
Brilliant. It's not a euphemism. He meant that literally. Excellent,
That's
excellent
not
answer.
really a good thing to do, though. Surely.
No, it's not.
The right thing to do is say, more tea, Vicar.
Oh, I do declare, I must have done that blow off myself or something, because it can't have been you,
I'd say-
auntie. There I go again.
You've got to say the creaky floorboards at this rave or something.
This rave's got ever such creaky floorboards that stink to heaven. It
It wouldn't
certainly
be very
can't be
good
my
rave if you could
auntie.
hear the floorboards creaking.
Now, that's a very good,
Cheeky.
impolite point you've made, Drew. Come on, Trevor, you're polite.
right, so
Think of a politeness
You're
test.
sitting down at a formal dinner with your friends.
And a
which,
pregnant woman comes in.
Stop it. Which side do you
She's
deliver the
crying.
food from, and which
What have
side
you
do
done
you
to her?
take away the dirty plates from?
You deliver it from the left and take it from the right, I think.
Is that right?
Oh, he's got it the right way round.
Yes, brilliant,
Is
Drew,
that-
you
is that a real
polite
thing?
boy.
That's a real thing, yeah.
That's
you
an
serve to
actual
the, on the
manners
left and
thing.
you
If
take
you're on
away
a
from the
bus
right.
and there's a pregnant woman,
Yes.
and how would you offer
I
your
would
seat
say
to
I'm
her?
very sorry, but I'm not bringing him up. It was a lovely evening.
Let's be honest, you won't be on a bus for a while.
No, Christ. The
Couple of years.
Go horribly wrong. Now, okay, you're on a bus. This pregnant woman's got a mat. Go on, then what happens?
And how would you say to her, you know,
yeah, all right. I'll
have
be the
my
pregnant
seat.
mum. I'll be the pregnant mum.
Look at you hopping up and down, drama boy.
Hold on, because I've done a school. Hello.
I'm a bit lost here. I'm on a bus.
Yeah, you're
There's
on a
pregnant
bus.
Woman.
You're pregnant.
I'm
Pregnant woman. Russell is the pregnant woman.
Oh, yeah.
Offer her your
Right,
seat.
but we've got to do it in a polite way. Oh, I'm so pregnant, and the dad's not around, the bastard. I wish I could get a seat on this bus.
I'd say, excuse me, would you like to sit here? And
Oh.
I'd stand up courteously.
That's rubbish. You've got to say,
No.
excuse me, madam, may I offer you my seat?
Oh no, he's done it nice, Matthew. No, why don't you go out of Jen?
All right.
No, you are not going out with that young lady. The criteria was polite, so good looking and creative. Might as well send a
Yeah.
drunk Charles Manson. Right, okay, so Drew, I think you're doing really well, Drew. Now, what is the other challenge?
Creative, he's got to be creative.
Right, Drew, you've got to be creative. Now, let's think of I thought of a good test creative, that sunset poem. Matt, you're a
Mine.
creative person. Shut up. Think of a creative test for him. Not just silently on the radio. Trev, you think of a creative
Okay,
test.
okay, so you've going out with a girl, you've forgotten her name. How do you find out her name without asking her name?
Yeah.
I'd say, what made your parents choose that particular name?
Interesting.
you've got.
You know that name you've got coming out of your mouth when you say your own name? Well, what made your parents call you this the name in question? How are you
You
going
can
to
get around it.
No, I think he could.
You could ask them who they're named after.
Who are you named after? No one.
Oh, right.
I'm
Yeah,
named
Her
after my granny.
If her name's Jenny, she could say, well, my auntie was called Jen. And
Look,
then
he's
bing, bang, there
remembering.
you go.
You lovely boy, you're remembering
all this.
Jen's
This is
name
good,
even
this is
now.
good.
He wouldn't even forget the name. Guess
charmer.
what we've got with Drew?
He's
We've got a
smooth,
genuine
though.
lover.
He's smooth, eh?
He's the new Byron. He's Don Juan, but more loyal and more faithful than that. Now, come on, Drew. There's one final test, and we'll invent it now.
Good looking.
Are you good looking? That's not a good test. That's just genetics.
Oh, we'll invent a test.
Yeah, let's invent a new test to see if he can pass it.
Without being modest,
Yes, Drew.
I'd like to think so.
Oh, you lovely, lovely
You'd
boy.
like to think so.
You'd like to think that you're quite good looking. And how old are you, dear?
I'm 23.
The perfect age! There's another 23
Almost
matches!
too perfect.
He's not lying. Don't you undermine this. Don't you ruin this for me,
I'm not
Matthew.
lying. I could show you my driving license or something.
He can drive.
I look forward
He's
to
a-
that.
This beautiful driving 23-year-old polite boy.
Have you got a car?
genius.
I do have a car, yeah.
Oh my God!
What a dream boat.
Okay, I've got a test. Which is the odd one out? The Daily Telegraph, The Independent, Jackie.
Jackie's
I
a
can imagine.
person!
Was Jackie not an 80s kind of
Girls
sort of
magazine.
annual?
Comic?
What was that?
It was a comic.
It was a comic, yes. You've got to be an expert on comics. Now, do you like Batman?
He's okay.
No, you idiot!
I'm not,
Not him
I suppose, yeah,
personally.
I wouldn't say he's my favourite, but yeah.
Who's
I
your
could-
favourite of the many comic characters that you adore, Drew? Who would you say is the zenith of these comic characters?
Let's, Spider-Man.
Good lad, right, okay, he likes comics. That's one of the more obscure ones if you don't count that hundreds and hundreds of $1 million movie and the campaign that surrounded it. Jen, get back on the phone,
What was
Jen.
You haven't asked me where I live yet.
Where do you live, you git?
Inverness.
Inverness! USA! 4 more years! 4 more years! 4 more years! This lad is perfect. If ever we encountered a perfect lad for Jen, it's this one. Drew, you be quiet for a bit now. Now we're going to talk to Jen. In fact, fade him down because there's a lot of racket coming out of him. Jen, you've heard what went on there, young lady.
I have a question, though.
You've got, listen.
What, for Drew?
I sensed optimism in your voice for a split second, and already I sense that this question is going to be a pessimistic one. Now, what is it?
Where did he go to school?
Yes, this is good because it can test his age and also if he's really from Inverness. Because if he goes Inverness High, they know he's lying.
No, I know. There's a dodgy school though in Inverness, and if he comes from there, you don't want anything to do with him.
Exactly.
Trevor, if any information you have on Inverness schools says more about you than it does him.
Well,
now,
Jen, am I wrong?
Jen, you stay there. We're going back to Drew. Jen, fake Jen down. Drew?
Yes.
When did you go to school and where?
Now, I went to school in Golspie High School, which is about 60 miles north of Inverness. But I moved to Inverness when I was 18.
He moved there when he's 18. Give the guy a chance. Watch his, they don't have to be from the same street, for heaven's sake. They can get on. We're not medieval times. Right, good. What was the name of that school? She'd have heard it anyway. Drew, let's fade Drew back down. Let's go back to Jen. Jen, come on. He's clearly not lying. Why won't you let yourself love, woman? What's wrong with you? Let yourself love.
I think he sounds fabulous.
Oh, we found love, actual love.
Right, it's only 9:45.
9:45.
11. No, it's 11:45. They could meet tonight.
You've got 7 minutes.
Get together.
Well, there's a problem.
Oh, you cynical bitch. What is it?
An overbearing aunt.
I don't actually live in Inverness anymore.
Where are you?
I'm in Edinburgh.
Get to Inverness.
Oh, it's not that far.
That's not far, is it? It's all part of lovely.
He's got a car.
He's got a car.
Yes, he does.
Right, you two meet up tonight. Now, what I want you to do now, Jen, is get very drunk. Now, can you see some gin anywhere in the room? Drink that gin down. Drink it, Jen. Jen?
Yes?
Drink gin. Okay. Now, we're gonna get you together with this. Let's go back to Drew. Drew?
Yes, I've got a big problem as well.
Oh no!
Oh, God.
What is this?
I'm currently on the M6, just come up to junction 26.
All right, don't give too much information. Someone might pop a cap in you. Well, what are you doing? Where are you going?
I'm going to Wallington for the week.
For the week. You made it sound like that was a sort of an festival. What are you going there for, Drew?
My sister lives in Newtonley Willows, and she's moving house, so I'm helping her move house.
Oh, he's a lovely guy.
Beautiful,
Lovely
perfect
guy.
boyfriend, isn't he? Lovely. I love this boy. I'll tell you what, Jen, if you don't take him, I bloody well will. Right, why don't you two say hello to each other on air? Right, they're both here now. Jen, no, Drew, you're the man, and we're sexist old-fashioned types. Say hello, Drew, to Jen.
Hello, Jen.
Answer him!
Hello, Drew.
Where did you come up with the name Jen? Who were you named after?
See, he's funny. Can't you not feel the chemistry between these two? It's like Burton and Taylor. It's electric. The atmosphere. Swoon. Oh, shall I get a hat chuck? Etc., etc. Now, you two meet each other. Both of you get off. Should we give him a bit more chance?
Just do a little kiss on air now.
Do a kiss noise.
Blow a kiss across Scotland.
Go on.
Who, me?
Both of you. Yeah, Drew, you blow the first kiss,
And then
you
she
blow
has
the
to
other one.
receive it.
Oh, actually, it's normally better for the woman to go first, because otherwise we won't bother. Go on, do a kiss, Jen.
Oh.
Oh, wee.
There you go.
And then
Go on, Drew, do
make
your
a noise
kiss.
that you've received it.
Wait a
then-
second, I'll kiss my teeth.
You beautiful young couple. This is like Lady in the Tramp or something. That spaghetti bit.
Sounded a bit sloppy.
No, Jen! Stop being so demanding!
Very
You
negative.
drive people away, Jen. You drive people away. Drew is reaching out to you, for heaven's sake. Right, I tell you what, let's get these two off the radio before it breaks up. I think they're doing well so far. Drew, we found you love. Jen, we found you love. Actual love is happening. We're creating love from nothing. We're alchemists, I tell you. Matt, what should we listen to?
Dave Berry.
Don't give me no lip, child. Don't give me no lip. Neither of you punks. We've found them love. Keep them on the line. Get these two kids together. I want kids. Dave Berry, Don't Give Me No Lip, child. Listen to Russell Brand on Radio 2. I'm here with Matt and Trev. It's going alright, isn't it?
We have.
Oh, that was
I was just about
beautiful.
to say we made love, but we
Let's never do that. I mean, we've come close, crikey, but there's always been something vital between us. Trevor, how do you feel?
Oh, I'm warmed by that. I'm really, really inspired. I can't
inspiring.
believe what's happened there. I hope something good comes out
Of
of it.
course something good will come. Oh, look, someone here, Susie goes, "Oi, Russell, Trevor is good looking. Sheesh, give him to Jen. He's good for her. Don't try and become between Jen and Drew. Let me tell you."
Can't try and become between them, definitely not.
No, oh, crikey, although that would be a nice
But you are
display.
right, I am very handsome, thanks for that.
Ghastly little character. Trev does seem to have a bald patch, says another person. Trevor, have you got a bald patch?
I've got my helmet. It's the light shining
It's
off
just
my
the light.
thing.
He's not got a bald patch. He's
He
all
has,
right.
but he doesn't know, Russell.
Oh Christ, you poor man. Hi Russell, were you using your pants as a bowl for your this trifle? It's really reached out and touched people. I've learned a lesson here. Always don't wear trifly pants. Always don't. Always don't do it. That's my advice to me. Every time someone asks for help, says Vicky in Oswhistle, you always end up helping them in a sexual way.
Yes.
Yes, good point.
What do you mean? Listen, the only reason we're on this planet is because of sex. Isn't it?
What do you mean? Have we got here, or what we're meant to do?
Yeah,
up to?
both, really.
No. One, really.
All right, well-
One. We got here because of sex. That's not what we're here to do.
Well, all right, we can try and reclaim divinity and contact God
That's
through
right.
like art and beauty and
That
stuff,
is
but
it.
that takes
And love.
ages and
And love.
generations. But sex is quicker. So every time someone asks for help, you always offer them sex. You are the #1 radio show podcast, so that means you're encouraging most of the UK to have sex. It's going to be a bloody erotic country by the end of the month. That said, I do love all of you, Trevor and Matt too. Thank you, Vicky. That's lovely and encouraging. Hiya, Russ. We're at a party and we'd like some ideas for party games if that ain't too much trouble. Abby, Mikey G,
Listen
and
to
Luke.
the radio at a party.
Just have it off, you three. They are. Sex solves another problem.
Stop it.
Hello, boys. When you were at school, did you have hot dinners or packed lunches? P.S. I'm a bit in love with Matt. Perhaps this is a problem. It really is a problem.
Who's that from?
It's just a little fella called Stephen. Hey,
Hot
Russell.
dinners all the time, no packed lunches.
You went for dinners?
Yeah.
I had I get a free dinner ticket, but because I was only a child, I got my mum to make sandwiches as well, and then got all overweight and that, and turned into a strange little fella. Took me years to recover. Hey Russell, says Roxy, why don't you date vegan Rian? I think you two will make a nice couple, both from the Essex neck of the woods. Problem solved. Roxy, for you, I will go out with that vegan girl. Russell, you should go out with the vegan girl. She sounds fit. There's another person. You've got to go out. I can't do that. Can you imagine how it would look? Russell Brand uses his radio show to recruit sexual partners. Can you imagine how that'd play out in the tabloids, Matt? Can you imagine it?
Terrible, I know.
Awful
Can't
business.
imagine that situation ever occurring.
Ever, under any circumstances.
Telly, though, that's different.
Telly's fine. That's a very cheap disposable medium.
Audiences are there.
There, what are you going to do with them? For heaven's sake. You've got to give up the Swiss ball. That's why you need the osteopath. Love you all. Mystery person. Is Matt wearing a nun's habit tonight? Looks like it on the webcam. Is that webcam not pointing at my face?
Hang on.
I know it's talking about me.
I think this webcam's on drugs, seeing as Trevor's bald and I'm a nun.
Yeah, this crazy old webcam. What are they using as a webcam?
They're not pointing at you at all.
They're pointing at these
That
two little
webcam
things.
is Aldous Huxley's mind. I don't think that any of the information we're receiving is any use to anybody. Right, okay, should we talk to Noel Gallagher? Is he on the... No, and we've not even said hello to him. Noel, are you there?
Yes, are you?
Well, in a manner, I suppose. Physically, I am. You all right, mate?
I'm not bad.
Have you... What? You sound a bit down in the dumps. What's going on?
No, I'm all right. I'm all right.
If I was near you, I'd give you such a cuddle. I would cuddle you
Yeah,
right
you
up.
always say that, but you never come through on it, do you?
Oh, I will one day. I really will. Have you been listening to our radio show, Noel?
I have actually.
It's good, isn't it?
Islands in the Stream.
That is
It
what
makes
we
Russell
are.
feel happy.
No. Pearl Jam. No.
What have you
Dave
got?
Berry. Yes.
Right, Dave Berry. So okay, you've passed the musical judgment on
Islands
us.
in the Stream is an appalling way to kick off anything.
It's a lovely thing, sentimental. Oh, come on. What about you? You love your girlfriend, don't you? Sarah, romantic.
Yes, of course I do.
Well then, Islands in the Stream, the pair of you. That is what you are. No one in between. Come on. It surmises the thing perfectly. Now, what about...
Go on then, fair enough.
That's unlike you to yield so quickly. So, Noel, what do you think about, like, you know, for example, us helping Drew and Jen to find love?
I'll tell you, why is Trevor Locke obsessed with, when he's asking the guy about politeness, right?
Yeah.
Why was his questions all about food?
Yeah, Trevor.
Why? What fork would you use?
Yeah,
Or what-
Trev.
That's got nothing to do with being polite. Is the way you use your cutlery at a restaurant?
I think it has.
No, it hasn't. That's not polite.
What
That's,
is- what-
that's
what's-
etiquette, isn't it?
It's etiquette,
Yeah,
you're
that's
right.
true, he's right, he's
Etiquette
right.
is a form of manners, though, isn't it?
No, not manners. Not in manners. I can tell you if you.
Go on then,
Not
Noel.
manners.
What test would you have done on him then?
If it was polite, I would have said, is it more polite to say, how do you do, or how's it going?
How do you do?
Come on,
It's an obvious question.
If you're going to criticise my forks and knives, you would have come up with something better than that.
Would I?
No, that's the test that you're proposing would have allowed any lunatic through. She could very well have ended up with Trevor.
No, you just put me on the spot there, but Trevor's supposed to be a professional, isn't he?
That's true, that's true.
No, it was, but the thing is, it was two questions about food, so I was like, what's he going on about?
Yeah, right.
Only one of them was from me, one of them was from Russell.
No, they're both from Trevor, and they come from very narrow parameters. You're right, Noel, to point out this thing about Trevor Locke. He's a dangerous liability.
Strange. But as for the two you're trying to get together, it's going nowhere.
So you think that what? You think those two aren't going to make it, Drew and Jen?
No, well, they're both lying, aren't they?
What? They're lying?
Well, they initially said they're both from Inverness, and neither of them are from Inverness.
You're right, yeah.
Neither of them are remotely near Inverness. We're just getting liars together to breed more liars for a big lie-filled nation of liars.
They just want to get on the radio, is what they want to do.
Oh, no, don't expose that, Noel. No, that is the premise of our show. Okay, let's talk about you for a bit. What have you been doing? Been on holiday, have you?
Yeah, I've just spent a couple of weeks down Branscombe Beach.
Was it nice? What is Brownscombe Beach? Is that where you used to go on holiday when you was a kid?
No, it's where that tanker's run aground, all that stuff's coming.
Oh, yeah.
He's been current.
Current, eh? Noel Gallagher, finger on the pulse. So what do you think about all this looting?
I think it's good.
Do you?
Yeah.
Why, go on.
Well, no one's robbing anybody, are they?
No one's losing anything. Well, it's all covered by insurance, probably,
There's
isn't
not
it?
even any glass windows being smashed.
Nothing's happening. All that's happening is people are opening crates.
That's all right. Couple of people nicking a couple of motorbikes, not wrong with that.
It's the perfect crime.
Don't belong to notice. Well, it's not a crime, is it?
It's the perfect thing. There's no crime
being committed.
No crime
By
being
actual
committed.
law.
Really? What? Because once it's washed up on that beach, there's some law that means you can go and have it if you like.
I don't know. I was watching the news the other day, and some copper was there saying we can't stop them because we haven't got the power to.
I see how you naturally, in this situation, Noel, side with the anti-establishment figure of the looter as opposed to the policeman. Do you think that this is an attitude that's informed by your criminal past? Your despicable criminal past, to elaborate, where you committed a series of crimes.
Well, I was going to say yes until you used the word despicable.
Right. Okay. So.
But in a word, yes.
Outside that pejorative adjective.
But like I say, it's a victimless crime, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. It's a victimless crime. No one's getting hurt. A lot of people are getting free washing machines, motorbikes. It's a bonanza, in a way. It's like looting a few.
The motorbike thing's a bit weird because they're actually useless because you can't register them, can you?
Oh, really? Oh, you can't really? So what, you could just do stunts on it?
You can just ride it on common ground, I think. It sounds like I've researched this, doesn't it? But
it really does.
Off the top of my head.
You sound like you've come on to do an item about the looting. That's what we're going to sound like. I forgot that you was ever in Oasis for a minute there. Just some bloke who knows a lot about bylaws and common land. Tell us about the feudal system.
You can't register them. There you go.
No, it's good that you've got all this information. Now, are you looking forward to these Brit Awards that I'll be hosting this year, and you'll be coming along to get a Lifetime Achievement Award, although some would say that that's all topsy-turvy and it will be other way round. I am looking forward to it. It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to you dying on your arse. Why are you saying this? I'll be good at those Brit Awards.
You can't, no.
Why don't you think I'll be good? All right, here's a practice.
Two words.
Go on.
Car crash.
Why would anyone say this? It's going to be all right, watch this as a practice. Hello, welcome to the Brits. I'm Russell Brand. Oh, what a year it's been for British music. This will be the best one since Sam Fox and that tall fella Mick Fleetwood done it. They are. It's like Mother's Milk.
Well, I'd go up and say, what do you know about music playing Kenny Rogers? Get off.
Oh my God.
I'll be taking over this from now on. Go on have a fizzy water.
That's really hostile. I mean, if you do that, it might be difficult for me to win back the audience.
Well, we'll actually be going up last, so.
Yeah, well, I'd like to think that you'll be supportive up until that point.
Of course I will. If any slow handcuffing breaks out, inevitably, which it will, during one of your unfunny little, I don't know, I'll hold it down for a bit.
Well, I wish you would. I'd like to think, Noel, that I'll have your support throughout that thing.
There'll only be one person booing you, Russell, like at the Q Awards. That'll be me.
Yeah, he did that.
Did he boo you at the Q Awards?
At the Q Awards. I felt nervous.
No, hey, in a kind of... In
a nice way.
In an affectionate way.
Affectionate booing?
Affectionate booing,
But
that's
the thing is, though, Matt, he kind of half-turned round. He done the half-turn.
Well, and looked at you.
Yeah,
But he didn't see it was me. He was kind of looking all mean and was like, who's that booing?
I was. It unnerved me.
Yeah.
Someone booing as I was going onto the stage.
Well, it wasn't a proper boo. It's more boo, you know.
It was not. It was this.
The style award.
No, I actually
Q
I didn't insert the letter B. It was more of a woo.
So, yeah. But once you've got past the buh, you've just left with a
That's just mooing.
Not as much as I boo you want to see on the television.
Crikey, that's horrible to think.
I mean, you little scruffy little train.
I look nice in those links. Now, what else should we ask him about? What are you going to do creatively? Anything? Or
I've
just...
actually, funnily enough, I've been writing tonight.
Have you? Really?
Well, I'm trying to write a futuristic dub reggae rock opera.
He always says this. You said that before.
Are you going to ever write this dub reggae rock opera?
I'm writing it tonight. I'm finding it very uninspiring, though.
Do you know what? You should listen to our radio show. That'll inspire. There's love, there's thrills, there's chills, there's spills, there's us three, the camaraderie, the jokes, the wildness of it all. There's the news. Come on, what more do you want? Why don't you give me a part in your rock opera? I'll be brilliant.
You're going to be busy though, aren't you? I'd have thought next year.
Yeah, I'm off to Delicious. Yeah, oh God, there's all sorts of opportunities. This Brits is going to be a real springboard.
Well, you're eventually going to have to come up with new stand-up material at some point, aren't you?
I've got loads of brilliant new jokes. You want to come and see me do them? I'm good at jokes.
That's what you told me the other night. You said it was all improvised, which usually means that's just somebody talking nonsense.
Nonsense. No, actually, it's very good. Trevor, stand up for me, for heaven's sake. You know that stuff where I improvise out of newspapers?
It's better than the prepared stuff.
That's a criticism. Okay, right, no, so, right, now, we've got, this radio show's nearly over, unless you want to use it as a forum for any kind of propaganda or unusualness.
Unusualness?
Yeah, I don't know what kind of things you might come out with. Is there anything you want to say, any musings on the nation?
Stuff we always talk about during the week, don't we?
Of course we do. We have a lovely chat during the week where you get some of your macabre views on religion and society off your chest, and then you can come and be quite sanitised on BBC Radio 2.
I've come to the conclusion that midweek phone call is just so I don't get you banned from the radio.
That is
on a Saturday night.
I thought ring him up, bleed all of the filth out of him,
That's
and then
right.
we can move on. No, we got to go because we've got to wrap up this radio show, and G's going to do a poem. And you're welcome to stay on the line if you like, but G's going to do a poem now. No, you're going to.
I think I'll go and make a cup of tea.
Oh, you selfish!
Cynical man.
And bearing in mind that Noel Gallagher famously said a cup of tea is like drugs, we all know what he's actually doing. He's going to drug himself to sleep or to write his ridiculous opera. Noel Gallagher, thank you very much.
Bye.
There he goes, old Noel Gallagher. Mr. G, welcome. Summarise that madness. Here he is.
Okay, this is called Watching. Watching from above. My mind flies high above the clouds to admire blue skies. It rises to look around and view surprises it can find. In the blinking of an eye, I aspire trifling affair. Arms lost in the path of an osteopath's ice cream eclair. I stop and stare at Russell's matchmaking career. I heard Richard Madeley has lately got rid of his beard. It will become clear as Trevor appears to heal the world. Dan survived his tough grilling, recited a poem that's unwritten, survived all criticism but won everything but the girl. But love is still unfurled and drew kisses in the air, painted pictures with a flair as Matt high kicks without a care. Noel despairs that all dreams are destined to die, but if you look up high in the sky, you'll see a twinkling in my eye.
Hey! Poetry! Love won in the end. Drew and Jen are together. Noel Gallagher's drugged himself to sleep. Right, an opera that no one will want to watch. So this has been a fantastic and tremendous show for everyone. Matt, do you feel alright?
I feel happy.
You do look happy thinking about it now. Trevor, you alright, dear?
I've got little palpitations. My little ticker's going pip, pip, pip for those two.
Those two. Oh, next week we'll hear how that romance went. And if you are young and in love, and even if you're not, just try and enjoy yourselves a bit. Give each other a cuddle. Why not take a leaf out of Trevor Locke's book and, thrust notes into a stranger's
Not
hand
notes,
saying, I
proper
like
cards.
your shoes, give us a cuddle.
Download it
like
off the
that.
website.
Come on, download it off a website. Right, okay, it's almost time for our show to end. Thank you for listening. Leave stuff on our website and leave your numbers because we need to contact you in case we go off on a special holiday. Yeah, leave us problems that you might have and leave your phone number and ways we can contact you because we need to contact you over the coming weeks.
Oh, and the lesbian photos. Thanks for them.
Thanks for the lesbian photos, that lesbian couple. You should have brought that up earlier. That was an interesting story. Keep them lesbian photos coming, gals. Okay, so it's been a lovely show. Thanks, what a lovely way to end it. So this is Andrea Simmons. What do you want Andrea Simmons to say? We can't get her to say lesbian photos. We could get her to say sapphic love. Sapphic love.
She's got to try and get that into the weather, though.
She can get that into the weather. It's alright, or it's like the Isle of Sapphos. As long as she gets Sapphos into the news, of course she can. Let's listen to the gorgeous Andrea Simmons on the news. 88 to 91 FM, this is Radio 2 from the BBC.